Good afternoon and welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us on today's webinar, Ideation and Innovation Planning at Doxim. My name is Naila Pej-Nigara and I'm a Director of Marketing Programs here at Doxim and your host for today. I'm joined here today by Sean Connelly, Head of Product Management for Customer Engagement Management, and one of our product managers, Shashank Koshal, who will walk you through today the bulk of the presentation. So before I hand it off to Shashank and Sean, I'd like to remind everyone that all attendees will be in listen-only mode. So if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please submit them via the Q&A section on the bottom of your screen. We'll also be sure to take a few minutes at the end to answer all your questions. You'll also receive an email link to the recording of the webinar in a couple days, so please feel free to share that with your colleagues who couldn't attend. So with all that covered, I'll pass it over to Sean and Shashank.
Thanks, Nyla. Hey guys, Sean here. So I'm just looking over the participant list, excited to see a lot of familiar names and I guess not faces, but at least names on that list. Really happy that everybody was able to join, and we're really excited to go over what we're doing here at Doxim. And again, the whole idea of this series is really to share and talk to everyone about what kinds of things we're doing and working on, not just from a product perspective, but from an operational and process and market engagement perspective, but also in some cases, some of what you folks are doing as well. So again, I'm really excited about this specific initiative. A lot of work has gone in from our product team and the business to plan and make sure this is going to work well for everybody. So on that note, I'll pass it over to Shashank, and he's going to walk us through what Doxim is doing around ideation and how we work with our customers and with the market to plan and prioritize the kinds of things we focus on, and what we do and why we do things. So thanks Shashank for prepping this, and appreciate your time, everybody. Really excited to go over this with you guys.
Thanks, Sean, and thank you everyone for joining me today for our webinar. I'm Shashank. I'm a product manager at Doxim, and I manage our commercial loan origination product. And I'm really excited to introduce our new ideation portal, Idea Exchange, where your ideas come to life and become a part of our product. Many of you have been working with Doxim over the years. And at Doxim, we have always believed in the philosophy of co-creation. In fact, our very early products were built in conjunction with some of our early adopters. Even our newest offering, the commercial loan origination, was built in collaboration with some of our customers. With this portal, Idea Exchange, we aim to modernize our tradition and bring you closer to our innovation process. Now let's talk about ideation. You may have heard the buzzword going around ideation. So what does that really mean? It simply means a creative and collaborative process of generating and communicating new ideas, which will help us make our product so much better for you in the future. Idea Exchange, this new portal, enhances our ideation process by letting you, our customers, submit our ideas, view the ideas submitted by other customers, and collaborate on those ideas with not only your peers, but as well as the Doxim team. You have solid experience with our product, and we want to listen to your ideas. And now you can share your ideas, which will help us build truly customer-centric products. Now let's see how this portal is going to help you. What does this portal add value to? Now let's think of a time when you wanted to request an enhancement or share an improvement with us. Depending on what phase of customer journey you are in, you may have to communicate that idea either to our professional services team or our support team. But with Idea Exchange, you have a straight and transparent channel into our product planning and development process. So this is the first and foremost benefit of Idea Exchange. You have transparency all over across where your ideas stand, how are they getting built into our roadmap. Then there is the benefit of group thought. and collaboration. Through this portal, we aim to bring the Doxim community together to explore new ideas and leverage a wide range of perspectives. The collaboration will allow us to create a shared understanding of expectations and priorities among your Doxim community. This will happen through a continuous validation and continuous upvoting and sharing of ideas in idea exchange. And lastly, you have a clear visibility into how your ideas are transformed into the most valuable features of our product. Now, idea exchange has different stages in the whole idea life cycle, which I will talk about later. But talking about the transparency part, through these stages, you will always know where your ideas stand or the ideas you may be interested in right now from your peers stand right now. Now let's see how your ideas will become a part of our products, will be turned into features, our roadmaps and releases. So here's how your ideas will be heard and acted upon. The first part of the process is continuous ideation and collaboration. Once you submit your ideas, it will be visible to other portal users for commenting and upvoting. So once you submit your idea, it's visible to the whole Doxim community. And then comes the process of continuous validation, which means your peers can upvote your ideas. You can upvote your peers' ideas. You can comment on them. You can ask them to elaborate more details with the help of Doxim team. And through this continuous process of validation, the Doxim team will come up with a list of shortlisted ideas. While we promise you that we will review all the ideas in the portal, there is only a limited capacity for our platform inclusion. For this purpose alone, we use a bunch of criteria to judge if an idea is shortlisted or not. First and foremost will be your feedback, your number of votes, the insights that we have gathered from you from our sales team, our customer success team. Then we have a strategic alignment. If your idea is aligned with our current vision. And then we have complexity and the impact of the idea, how complex the idea is, how big of a customer base this idea is going to impact. After we come up with a prioritized list, at that point of time, the idea exchange portal will allow you for a second round of voting, which means you along with your peers can help us prioritize those ideas, the ideas that hold most value to you. Once product management comes up with a prioritized list, we will plan and prioritize these ideas into product features with the cadence of our already 3 release process. And those 3 releases are our fall, spring, and summer release. So while the ideation, the upvoting, and the prioritization is a continuous part in this process, the shortlisting, the roadmap, and the releases will come 3 times a year. And then there will be cases where you submit an idea which will be very complex, which can be actioned across 2 or more releases. But nonetheless, throughout this process, we at Doxim are committed to inform you of the progress of your ideas throughout these different cycles. Now, because this is a collaborative tool and a lot of things depend on upvoting and collaborating with your peers and the Doxim team, you want your idea to be noticed, your idea to be reviewed, and your idea to be prioritized. How can you make sure that your idea stands out and becomes a part of our roadmap? Let's see what forms a good idea. The first thing that everyone will see, every portal user, including Doxim team, your peers will see about your idea, it's its title. Let's say I want to submit an idea about Doxim's loan document generation. Now I can call the idea revamp loan document generation, which does not really tell me what this idea is all about. Or I can give it a summary of, I want to e-sign multiple loan documents in a single package, which immediately tells me what the idea is going to be about. Now your idea title has caught my interest. I will open that idea and look for the second part of your idea, which is the description. So when formulating your description, you might want to focus on some of these key things. When you're writing a description, focus on explaining the problem you want to solve. Why solving it is vital to your own needs. Provide some scenarios in which you or some of your employees, your staff has been affected by the problem to make the problem more clear and provide some business justification to it. And lastly, you want accurate categorization. The reason this is important, it is in idea exchange, we have ability to view ideas according to different categories. So now if you have an idea about CRM, and if you are a CRM customer, you might want to go into the category of CRM and see what other users are talking about or voting about. And also this helps your idea to be found and contributed by other users. So let's say you have submitted your idea. What happens after you submit an idea? Well, your idea goes through these 7 different stages, which are on a screen right now. I will explain what these stages mean and how the idea goes through them. So first start with the submitting and the reviewing part. The first stage you will see your idea as soon as you submit it is under review, which means your idea is being reviewed by a member of our product management team to see if it's a good fit for the direction of the product. Well, during this stage, once you submit an idea, you will receive a response from a Doxim team member saying your idea has been received. If we have some clarifying questions, or we will ask you to elaborate some details about the idea, we will help you make your idea a good idea. So the next stage from under review, let's say if everything goes perfectly, your idea lands in the bucket of a good idea, which means your idea has been reviewed. We have confirmed that there is significant value in your idea to be incorporated in our roadmap. Your idea has complete details and is ready for the process of shortlisting, which is the second round of voting that I talked about in a couple of slides before. After we have done the review, after the idea is ready for upvoting, the second round of voting has completed, we collectively as Doxim community has shortlisted and prioritized some ideas. Then comes the planning stage. So for planning, we have 2 stages. The first of them is plan for future, and the second is plan for next release. This is entirely to give you a clear visibility on where your ideas stand right now. This essentially means your idea was prioritized. It is planned to be a part of Doxim's roadmap. However, there is a slight difference between plan for future release and plan for next release. Plan for future release is your idea has been prioritized. It will definitely be a part of yearly release, but it might not be a part of the very next release. This may happen in a case where your idea has been planned, is planned for the next after release, or your idea is too big and it expands across multiple releases. But when your idea is available for you to be start planning, because you need to plan on your end when you start upgrades and stuff like that, we will move that idea into plan for next release. So you know clearly what is coming up in next release, and you can start planning for those features. You can start planning your training materials around those features. Once we have planned it, we will go through a rigorous process of prototyping, of designing, of mocking things up, developing it and testing. And then we end up in the next stage, which is the release state. So the shipped or the release status means Doxim has released the feature that stemmed from your idea. And this planned feature or your idea is now fully developed and is made available to you as a part of our next release. So you can start talking to your CSMs. You can start planning your next release around your big idea if you had to. Now, this was the happy path of an idea. Let's say your idea was perfect and your idea was helped by Doxim team or other peers and was selected for the immediate roadmap. What happens if your idea is not selected as a good idea? So your idea moves into either of these two stages: already exists or not fit. So not fit means the product team has reviewed your idea, but unfortunately at this time, there are no plans to implement it. It may also be the case that at a later stage, an idea has been implemented through another feature, or that idea already exists in a product as one of our features. So this will be assigned an already exist stage or a not fit stage. Keep in mind that every not for a fit idea is still an active idea on our platform, which can still be voted upon, which can still be commented upon, and which can still be actioned upon and can still become a part of our roadmap based on broad market applicability or our customer needs. So these were the 7 major stages of an idea lifecycle and how ideas can be formulated, how ideas go through a life cycle of stages to get to features and become a part of our roadmap and our product. So now let's take a look inside. I'm sure you're excited about this new portal. We are too. Let me show you how you can start using this once you get your invites. So as you can see, now I'm signing in to the Idea Exchange portal. I will type in my email address. Since I'm a super user, I don't need to log in completely. I can just type in my email address. And I land onto the default view of all the ideas that are going around in Idea Exchange. So the default view that you land on is the trending view, which means these ideas have been voted most recently. Trending means let's equate it to the most recent votes. And then there's a popular tab, which is sorted by the ideas which are most voted among all the community. And the recent tab just shows you the ideas which have been submitted most recently by our community. Now let's go through an example of submitting an idea. To submit an idea, all I have to do is click add a new idea. Like I said, the first thing here would be, I want my summary to be clear. I want my summary to be relatable. I want my summary to strike a chord with the whole Doxim community. Let's say in CRM right now, you don't have the ability to change solicitation back to consent not determined. I want a simple ability to change the solicitation back to consent not determined. So this title gives me a clear description of what this idea means. Now I will type in a description. Why is it useful? Who would benefit from it? How it should work? Let's give it a simple description for now. And lastly, you want to choose an appropriate categorization for this category. So this idea belongs to our CRM, our customer relationship management system. So I will select the category and I can share the idea. Now this idea is visible to all the users of the Doxim idea exchange. Other users can comment on it, attach some files to it, or you can edit your ideas based on the comments, based on the feedback that you have received from the Doxim team and your peers. And if there are any related ideas, you can see those ideas in here. Now let's go back to the home page and see if our idea has shown up on the home page. Well, there it is. So it's currently under review. Another way of seeing just my ideas in a plethora of the ideas raised by Doxim community is using the filters on your left. So you click on my ideas and you see all the ideas that I have submitted. You can also filter the ideas that you have voted upon. Or you can filter ideas through their statuses. In this example, the idea that I just raised is under review. So that means it's being reviewed by a Doxim team and they will post an admin response and they will ask me some questions or they will move it to a good idea. Or you can see what is planned for the future release, what's in there for Doxim's yearly roadmap. So here you can see we have dashboards for my CRM landing page, like configurable set of dashboards planned for future release. But this may not be available to you in the very next release. So what's available to you in the next release is condition management and tracking, which is how to track conditions and other covenants in our loans. And lastly, you can see if your ideas have been released, if they have actually become a part of our product. You can also filter your ideas through different categories. You can view ideas which are related to different functional areas that we have, such as commercial origination, business analytics, CRM. Now, there might be a case you are trying to submit an idea which already exists or which might be related to your idea. So let's take an example of condition management and tracking. This idea is already planned for next release. I don't know about it. And I try to add a new idea about conditions. So as soon as I start typing relevant keywords, the system will prompt me to say, hey, this idea, similar idea exists. Do you want to consider voting for one of these existing ideas? And now it might be the case, this might be the same exact idea, or this might be a related idea. So if I share this idea, you see those suggestions become your related ideas. So that's how you create ideas, submit ideas. For voting on ideas, all you have to do is simply click on this voted button. You can unvote or vote an idea simply by clicking a button. And then you can view how many votes have you given on different ideas. Now that you have seen how Idea Exchange works, I'm sure you're all wondering who is going to have access to this? How can I start using this straight away? This looks great. So for the first phase of our ideation process, we will start this process with our CEM products, our account origination, loan origination, customer relationship management, CRM system. You will notice there are categories for other products as well, such as ECM. You may be using a combination of our LOS, CRM, and ECM, but these are not included in the initial launch of the Idea Exchange and will follow a separate announcement later this year. But who's going to use Idea Exchange? We at Doxim recommend these are the 3 types of users. So the first one we recommend is an executive champion. Somebody who is a decision maker, a sponsor of Doxim products, knows the strategic imperatives of the organization and how those strategic imperatives can be supported by Doxim products. The second one is business owners. Think of business owners who have vested interest in the adoption of our product. Somebody who is leading your commercial lending team, somebody who is leading your compliance team. Typically business owners who manage the process, which our tools support, and they can inform the needs for the product. And lastly, the power users, employees who use our product on a daily basis for their daily tasks and have key insights into how they can improve our products so that they can serve your members much better. Now, we do recommend it's not delegated to your implementation or testing teams because they have their own spaces right now to log their enhancements or project-related queries. The invitees among these 3 categories will be chosen by our CSM in conjunction with you. Somebody from our CSM will reach out to you and ask you who exactly fits these 3 categories, and then you will receive invites. Let's talk about next steps. Let's talk about how this Idea Exchange will become an integral part of our process moving forward, and how can you start using it straight away. So the first one is you will receive a communication from us regarding the webinar, with the webinar recording, and as well as the invites to sign up to Idea Exchange, along with how-to guides, which will elaborate how to submit your ideas, how to vote on ideas, how to comment on ideas, what to expect. The second update will be our first prioritization cycle, which will occur with the help of your ideas that you have submitted, you have upvoted on, and this will happen in late June and early July. And with the help of this prioritization, lastly, we will come up with our first roadmap, which will include your ideas, and that will become a part of our fall 2020 release. So this was all I had for Idea Exchange. I will now open up the floor for any question and answers you may have.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Shashank. Just quick, I know we're at the end of the half hour, guys, so appreciate, everybody uh, attending and listening in and getting a snapshot of what we're working on in this area. And I think anybody that's, dealt with or has, been a partner of ours for years understands the challenges of spreadsheets and stuff coming into PS, stuff coming into support, stuff coming into product managers. And it, and I think everybody can appreciate that becomes a really big challenge for somebody to manage and really collect everybody's thoughts, get everything in one place, understand what's important to who, and actually have a system centralized where everybody can collaborate, everybody can share, everybody can engage, including the Doxim team. And so, for us, it's really exciting getting to a point where we can get everybody in one spot, get all the ideas in one spot, and start to collect things in one place for everybody to view and consume. So really excited about that. And again, I know we're kind of at the end of the time here. So if anybody has questions, more than happy to respond to a few. If there's some folks that want to ask anything, otherwise. Have a great day, I guess. And Nyla is going to share out a recording of this webinar for everybody so that they can share it out to their teams for whoever might be involved in this process. I don't know if there's any questions or anything that anybody wants to ask while we're on the line, but if not, have a nice day, guys, and appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. And thanks, Shashank, and everyone who joined us today. Just a reminder, our next webinar will be on May 28th. We hope you can join us then. It's about looking ahead to the customer engagement and financial services. And if you have if you think of any questions that you may have and you want to learn more about Idea Exchange, please feel free to reach out to your sales rep or your customer success manager. Thanks, everyone, again, and hope you have a wonderful afternoon.